Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, May 5th, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin this morning with All Elite Wrestling news. Total ticket sales for AEW's All In pay-per-view event set to take place at Wembley Stadium in August reached 50,000 yesterday, according to a Twitter announcement from Tony Khan. Khan also announced the current attendance gate total as $6.5 million. Yesterday was the last day of pre-sales for the event, with tickets officially going on sale to the general public today. Wembley has a capacity of approximately 90,000, but it's not known how many seats will be made available. Turning to Impact, Trinity Fatu made her first appearance on last night's broadcast of Impact Wrestling on Access TV, taped April 29th at Cicero Stadium in Chicago.
The moment has arrived! Trinity is here in Impact Wrestling!
And immediately, the energy in the room is off the charts. I am so excited to see Trinity in an Impact Wrestling ring. I have shared locker rooms. I have shared the ring with this incredible woman, this incredible athlete, and I am so damn happy to see her in the Impact Zone.
The former Naomi of WWE was billed simply as Trinity and cut an in-ring promo declaring her interest in the Impact Knockouts World title, after which she was confronted by Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace. This was Trinity's first wrestling appearance since walking out of WWE last year, along with Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks. Also on the show, Impact World Champion Steve Maclin teamed with Shera and Champagne Singh in a loss to PCO, Heath, and Rhino. Impact World Tag Team co-champion Ace Austin beat Zicky Dice, and Jonathan Gresham beat Speedball Mike Bailey. With a look at Ring of Honor on Honor Club, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Ring of Honor on Honor Club last night saw 3 champions compete in matches recorded April 26th at the Dynamite taping in Sunrise, Florida. ROH World Heavyweight Champion Claudio Castagnoli made his 7th defense of the title, retaining against New Japan's Robbie Eagles. ROH World Women's Champion Athena defeated independent wrestler Angelica Risk in a non-title proving ground match, and ROH World TV Champion Samoa Joe made his 10th defense of the title, beating Christopher Daniels. This was the first defense of the second year of Joe's TV title reign. Also on the show, Rocky Romero of New Japan Pro Wrestling defeated Lee Moriarty in a Pure Rules match. And in other results, Darius Martin, Action Andretti, Stu Grayson, and Best Friends defeated Ari Daivari, Josh Woods, Tony Nese, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett in a 10-man tag. Brian Cage beat Brock Anderson, Commander topped Angelico, and Sky Blue went over Robin Renegade. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In ratings news, AEW Dynamite drew its smallest total audience in nearly 2 years, with 776,000 viewers tuning into TBS last Wednesday night, according to Showbuzz Daily. That total was also down 10% from last week's 863,000 viewers. This was the lowest audience to watch Dynamite since the June 15th, 2022 episode. Nevertheless, the rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic held steady with a .28 number for the second week in a row, equating to 365,000 viewers according to WrestleNomics. The show came in 8th place for the evening in the key demo on cable TV, up from 9th place last week. Now with a look at legal news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
WWE stockholders agreed to drop their consolidated lawsuit originally filed against Vince McMahon over his return to power in the company earlier this year, according to a Bloomberg report. The suit, filed in Delaware, was dropped due to McMahon's agreement last March to pay $17.4 million towards the WWE Board of Directors investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct against him and former head of talent relations John Laurinaitis. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
And we close with a look at Japan. Yesterday was Greenery Day in Japan, one of several holidays which comprise the nation's annual Golden Week celebration. With the government and many businesses shut down for several days, Golden Week traditionally results in a bounty of wrestling cards being presented, and Wednesday saw its fair share of them. Here are some of the highlights. Pro Wrestling Noah ran Tokyo's Sumo Hall featuring 4 title matches. In the main event, Jake Lee retained the Global Honored Crown World title with a victory over Naomichi Marufuji in 25 minutes and 28 seconds after hitting Marufuji with a high head kick. It was Lee's second successful defense. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. defended the GHC National title by pinning Hideki Suzuki. Hayata retained the GHC Junior Heavyweight crown, defeating Ninja Mac. And in the only title change of the night, Saxon Huxley and Timothy Thatcher knocked off Takashi Sugiura and Shohei Taniguchi to win the GHC World Tag Team Championship. All Japan Pro Wrestling's Champions Carnival finals are now set as T-Hawk defeated Kento Miyahara to win Block A of the tournament yesterday in Tokyo. The former Dragon Gate and current GLEAT wrestler faces Shotaro Ashino in the final on Sunday in Ota City. Yesterday's program at Korakuen Hall was main evented by Kaito Ishida and Kotaro Suzuki defeating Atsuki Aoyagi and Rising Hayato to win the Junior Tag Belts of Glory tournament. Goddess Legend 2023 Tsutoyo Stardom was presented by the all-women's company yesterday in Fukuoka. Streamed on pay-per-view, the show featured 3 championship matches, including the main event, which saw Mina Shirakawa make the first defense of the Wonder of Stardom title by defeating Natsupoi. Mirai and Ami Sourei also made the first defense of the Goddess of Stardom tag team title with a victory over Hazuki and Koguma, and Azumi held on to the high-speed title, making her 12th defense over Mai Sierra. Big Japan Wrestling ran the Yokohama Budokan for its Endless Survivor Infinity Independent card. In the main event, Yuya Aoki pinned Yuji Okabayashi with a Tiger Suplex to win the Big Japan Strong Openweight title. Takuya Nomura and Fuminori Abe defeated Takuho Kaito and Hiroyuki Suzuki to retain the Big Japan Tag Team title. Keiji Tomato upended Kota Sekafuda to win the Big Japan Junior Heavyweight Championship. And in a Yokohama Explosion Jungle Death match, Abdullah Kobayashi defeated Hideyoshi Kamitani to win the Big Japan Deathmatch title. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.